So hi, namaste. Today we are going to discuss about application management in SCCM. Okay. So what is application? So application or app is a widely used term in the computing. We all know that. And in configuration manager, it means something specific. So what is it? Just imagine application is like a box. And in this box, we can add one or more sets of insertion files and some requirement files, something. So and also the instructions how to deploy the application. Okay, so all this together we call it as the application packaging in the SCCM. Okay, so when you deploy the application to devices, requirements decides which application, which deployment type is suitable to install the application. So deployment type means here, so the deployment type contains the set of instructions. Okay, set of instructions on, like, the where the content is located and what is the command line to install the application program, like that. Okay, so based on the requirements, it can decide which type of deployment type is suitable to the application. Okay, so we can see that, we'll see that in the real-time lab environment, okay, shortly. And then the application need at least one deployment type, as it determines how to install the application. Okay. So we can use more than one DT. So can create one or two deployment types based on the requirements. Okay. So for example, here we can assume one application which is called APC. So it needs to install in the enterprise, and we can see how we can install. Uh, One way we can install the Windows installer package. We can create a package. So we can deploy this application package to the all Windows devices. Okay. So all Windows devices can have this Windows installer package, and that will install the application. So for the server forms, we can use the appy package, and for the mobile devices, we can use the web package. So like that, we can create different deployment types. So for example, here we have the deployment type for Windows, and another deployment type for server forms, and other deployment type for web app. So the requirements. So we already discussed about the requirements, right? So the requirements will decide which deployment type is suitable for the deployment type, right? So for example, you created a package. This is ABC package, and you created these three deployment types. Okay, and you mentioned the requirement as Windows devices, Windows OS. Okay, so when you deploy these to the collection, say for example, in the collection you have all servers and Windows and mobile apps together. Okay, so if you have these three type of devices together in a single connection, so when you install, when you deploy this package to this collection, so you mentioned the requirement as the Windows 11 or Windows 10. So the Windows OS. So based on that one, so it will check the devices which are available in this collection. So it will cross check for the Windows OS. So when the Windows OS is available, it will select those devices and provide the first deployment type which is required for the Windows devices, Windows OS devices. So it will provide this deployment type to the those Windows devices, and it will install the application. Okay. So like this, how the application deployment works in the SCCM. So fine, I hope you understand this concept. So next, configuration manager dependencies. So what we need to configure this application management. Okay. So first of all, we all know that we need a MP management point, because the policies need to sync. Okay. Then the distribution point. So it is required to host the application source files. Okay. So the distribution point will keep that application source files. Whenever we deploy the application to the client devices, the client device requests the distribution point, and then those devices will download that source files from the distribution point, and then it will install that application. Okay. And then the reporting services, if you want to pull any reports, for example, if you deploy to the 10,000 devices, so you want to know how many devices are installed and how many devices are failed and how many devices are in progress, something like that. So if failed, what are the error codes and everything. Okay, so like that we can pull a report. So for that purpose, we can use the report services point. Okay, and then the client settings. So client setting is used based on these, these settings: computer agent, computer restart. So when you need to restart the computer, software center. So how you present the application to the end user. So in the software center, we can make the application as available mode, so the user can install anytime. And then if it is a required application, we can deploy directly as the required mode. So in the software center also, we can provide the application icons, the logos, something, the URLs, something like that. Okay. And the software deployment, we can configure when the software is going to deploy, and we can configure those timings and everything. And user affinity, it means user and device affinity. So if you want to deploy to the users also, you can deploy by using the user-centric applications. Okay. So like that, these are the dependencies for the configuration manager. Okay. So next, security permissions for application management. So what are the security permissions? So for example, if you think anyone can come and open the SCCM console and create an application and deploy and fetch some reports like that. So if you think like that, it's definitely wrong. So there is permissions, role-based permissions. Okay. So we call it as role-based administrations. So we provided some security roles, and we assign those roles to particular users, particular people, and those users only can able to create and deploy and modify something for the applications. Okay. So like that, we have here application author is a security role, includes required permissions to create, change, and retire applications. And then the application deployment manager, so he can do that, the deployment, he can deploy the applications, the application deployment manager. And finally, the application administrator. So the administrator can do anything. So above all, the what the application deployment manager can do, the application administrator also can do, because he is the main admin, right? So like that, we have the security permissions for the application management. Okay, so I hope you understand this concept and have the considerations. What are the considerations we need to consider before we are decided to install some applications? Okay, so first thing is the application type. So what is the type of the application? So which means you can say it is a MSI application or EXE application or AppX application or MSIS application, something like that. Okay. So first of all, we need to decide which application type we are going to deploy. Okay. So next, system or user. So to whom you are deploying, to system or the user. This thing we need to consider. Okay. And then the action. Action means what you are going to do. You are going to install the application or uninstall the application. Okay. So this thing. And purpose. Is this the necessary application or not? If it is a necessary application, we can use the required mode, or if it is a normal application, you can deploy that as the available mode. So in the available mode, the application will available in the software center. User can install whenever he requires that application. The requirements, as I already mentioned, the requirements like RAM requirements and the OS requirements like Windows 10 or 11. So like that. And dependencies, for example, if you deploy any application, for example, we can say ABC application, and this application requires some other files, some other applications need to be available on the machine to install this application perfectly. Okay. For example, we can say .NET framework or something, we can say C++, Visual C++ like that, or something like that. No. So if any application is required or dependent on some other applications, so we need to add those as the dependencies. So first, these dependencies will install on the machine, and after that, the main application will install. And finally, detection. So detection means how you detect the application after the installation or before the installation. So why we need the detection means, for example, if you want to install any application, for example, we can say 7-zip application. So if it is already there in the machine, so you are deploying again, so it means a time consuming thing, it means a time waste also. Okay. So you can check whether this 7-zip already installed, already available in the machine or not. If it is available, the configuration manager won't install again and again. So you can give some path. So detection will can consider by using three methods. One is the file path and the registry, and then you can use the, if it is a MSI, you can use the MSI code. We can call it as MSI product code. Okay. So by using this, we can detect the applications whether it is installed in the machine or not. We'll check in this scenario, we'll install the 7-zip application in the devices. On the time, I'll show you. So how we can use the MSI code and the file path also. Okay, we're fine. These are the considerations we need to consider first before you start the application packaging. Okay, so next, log reference. So what are these log reference? So it means which logs are available to check this application management. So I'm going to expand this table so we can see it in clear. So here we have app intent eval.log, app discovery.log. So it will discover the applications whether it is installed or available in the device or not. We have the enforce. So app enforce.log. So it can record the details about the enforcement actions, which means it is installed or uninstalled. Okay, what are the action taken place? Okay. So these are the application management log files. We can check. The main log file we need to consider first thing before these log files, which is the cast log. So I'll show you this in the above, or here we have cast log. So cache.log. So why we need to check this means the content access service. Okay, this is a content access service log, maintains the local package cache on the device. Okay, so this log will tells you the application is downloaded or not. So if it is downloaded, where it is stored. Okay, so we all know that we have the SCCM cache folder available in the Windows, C Windows. So on that folder, we have every package available locally. Okay, so it will download from the distribution point and keep this package in the device SCCM cache. So on that folder, this log will tell you on the SCCM cache in which folder the available application source files are stored. Okay, so like that we can check this cache log. So this is all about the application management in SCCM. So now we're going to install some application directly on the device from the SCCM console. Okay, so let's say we can install the 7-zip now. So let's start the real-time lab. So here we are. So we are in the SCCM console. This is the primary site. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to create some collections, because before creating any application package, we need the device count. Okay, so how many devices are required this application? So how many devices are required as the available or as the required mode something? And this is the main thing we need to note down. That is the device count. Okay, so based on the device count, we will create collections. And then we create an application package and we deploy that package to the device collections or user collections if required. Okay, so I'm going to create a collection right now. So I'll name it as the 7-zip 7-zip required. Okay, so I make it simple, so we can take it from the all device, all desktop clients. Okay, direct rule, I'm going to add few devices. Windows 10 I have, so I can add the dawn device. I hope you all know how to create a collection. So I'm not going to explain you how we are going creating the collections. Okay, so if you required maybe some other video. So 7-zip available. Okay, so I'm going to deploy as the two requirements, some devices as the available mode and some devices as the required mode. Okay, so 7-zip available for W10 LE can step as the available device. So in the real time as well, so we can deploy like this only. Some devices may require the application or some devices may not. So for that applications, I mean for that devices, we create a collection like available device. So we will deploy the application and make it available in the software center. So whenever the user required, user can install. So for the required devices, we'll directly deploy the application as required mode. Okay, so fine. So it is syncing. Okay, it is synced successful. So here you can see there is one device count. So now I'm going to install the application. Before that, I'm going to download the application right now. So we need 7-zip. Need to download. So I'm using the MSI. Okay. Okay. It is installed. I'm going to download the exe also. So I'm not going to install the exe file, but I'll show you why I need to download the exe. Okay. So good. So everything is good. So now I'm going to create a share path. So in the application management, the share path is very, very important. So we need to keep every application in the share path only. So then only the application is able to create. Okay. So we can't directly provide the D drive or C drive locations. Okay. So definitely the folder need to be shared on the network, and then we can provide those network path only. Okay, we can call it as the UNC path. So I think you all know that. So here already provided the 64 MSI application, and here I need to make another folder based on the version number. So now I'm going to check the version number. So I think maybe the exe file have the version. See, 24.9. Okay, so I can name it as the 24.09, and here I can paste it. Okay, so copy the MSI and paste. That's it. So we have the file in the network path. So I'll show you. So for example, if you open the primary site share path, see, here we have software library share, apps, 7-zip, 64, MSI, see, I have the application. So here also, in real time, most companies will create a folder structure for the applications. So for example, you can create a folder here. So we can say general apps. Okay. And then in general apps, and create another folder for 7-zip. 7-zip, we create another folder for 64, or not 64, based on the version numbers. Okay, 24.09. That's it. So here you can create any kind. Okay, so for example, you can create 64-bit application or 32-bit application or MSI or exe, whatever. Okay, so here you can create. So this is a simple structure. Most companies will use this simple structure only. Okay, so now I'm going to mouse CM server apps 7-zip 64 MSI and then the file. So since it is MSI file, so many no, the default details already available because it is MSI. So 64-bit edition. So I'm going to remove this one. So 7-zip 240. So in the comments section, so some people will use the created name. For example, who created the application, that person name or something, the ID. Okay, ID and date, or name and date. Some people will use the general instructions if you have any doubts or any queries regarding this application, you can reach the support. Okay, for example, you support email ID or support phone number, like that. The service desk phone number, service desk email ID, like that. Okay, so I'm not going to put any comments right now, so I'll go for next. Publisher, it's Igor Pavlo, or Pavlo. So sorry, I missed. So let me check again one thing. Forget the name actually. We have details not here. Yeah, Igor. I have now. Sorry for that. Now I'm going to place Igor Pavlov. Okay, software version 24.09. So now I'm going to install for the system only. So I selected the system, install for system, and this is the normal default program. Okay, for the MSI applications. You can click next. Here's the summary. So you can cross check the summary and then click next. Now it will creating the application. So fine, the application is created. So next thing, what we need to do is we need to distribute this application. So now I can distribute this application to the distribution point. So here we have the DP available, DP server. Then click next. So now I can see the summary. It is in progress. So it will distribute soon. So once it is distributed, so we can deploy the application in two ways. One is for the required collection and another is for the available collection. So let's wait. Still distributing, still in progress. So we can check the content status as well. So what happened to this? Yeah, it is still distributing. That is instructed. Okay, the package. This is the package ID SLP 00007. So it is distributing to the DB. So it will take some time, so need to wait. So in the meanwhile, I'll tell you why I downloaded this one, exe. Okay. So when you go to the properties of this 7-zip in the software center, I'll tell you we provide the icons, right? So icons, we can provide icons based on the exe or DLL or JPG, ICO, PNG, like that. Okay. So here I'm going to provide the icon for this 7-zip. Then apply. So let's see. Okay. Now it is distributed successfully. So now we can deploy it to the local machines. Okay. So I can deploy directly from here. We can right click and deploy. So from here, we need to select the devices, okay, the collection. You can select available or required based on the requirement. Otherwise, you can directly go to the device collections. And from here also, you can deploy the application. Right click and deploy, select the application. So here we need to select the application first. Okay. So you can select the application and then click next. So this collection is the available collection. So I'm going to deploy it as the available one. Okay. The action is install, purpose is available. Okay. So next, so I'm using UTC timing only. So I'm not going to put any time, date and timings because this live environment I can deploy as soon as possible. So I want to display all notifications and next. So this is a summary. You can cross check the summary and next. So we deploy successfully as the available. Okay. So now for the requirement. So for the required applications as well, so I'm going to deploy and I'm selecting the application. Next. Here now I'm providing required purpose. As soon as possible, display all notifications and close. See? We deployed a single application for two device collections. One is the one for available and one for required. So the application will be available on the software center and the application is directly installed on the machine. So we can cross check once. I forgot which is available in this collection. Okay, fine. It's a down device. So down device is the in required mode. Yeah, it is in required mode. So I'm going to expand this one. So this is the software center. So I forgot about the client settings. So these are the client settings we provide actually. So I'll explain you quickly. So these are the client settings. So we already provided the client settings here and applied to the Windows 10 devices. So we configured these client settings. Computer agent. So I kept only default things only, and computer restart. So when we can restart the system. So default things is the default timing is 90 minutes. In software center, I customized the software center. I inserted our logo. Okay, SCCM logs logo, and then the deployment. Yeah, these are the I changed to 3 days. Actually, the default is the 7 days. Okay, so every 7 days it will check the the deployments. It will reevaluate the policies. So when you're deploying these client settings to the collections, so but with those collections only able to have their settings. Okay, so now see you can see here there is no application right now. So because we need to sync the policies, so I can open this configuration manager applet. I'm going to run the mission policy. So since it is application deployment, we need to run the application deployment evaluation cycle. So let's write. Okay. You can see here it's already available and downloading also. So since it is a required mode, it will automatically download the application and install the application. Okay. I can also see that there is a icon available, 7-zip icon, and installation also successfully completed. Okay. So you can see here it's installed. So we're not able to uninstall here. Okay. So if you provide uninstall option, so we can. So if it is available mode, definitely it will able to uninstall because it is a required mode. So you can't uninstall this one. So you can check the log files. If you can go to the Windows SCCM logs. For that, I need to SCCM trace logs cast log. I already told you the cast log will record the uh, source files location. Okay. So here the cast log is downloaded from the DP server and then stored the source files on this CM cache 4 folder. Okay. Can you cross check this thing? CM cache 4 folder. Here you have the source file. Okay. So fine. This is the requirement mode. So we can check the available purpose. Okay. So the software center, still there is no application. So I already told you once the policy is synced, then only the applications come to the software center. So machine policy, then application deployment policy. So you can sync either application deployment if you want only the application deployment to run, and if you sync the machine policy, it will check everything. So here you can say it is saying new software is available. Okay. So this is the 7-zip. See, it is not installing by default because we deployed this application as available mode. So status is available. So when you click install, it will download and install. See, downloaded and installed as well. And now you can see the uninstall button because it is available mode, so we can uninstall. Okay, so whenever we require, we can install or uninstall. Okay, so this is all about the application deployment as available mode. So that's it, friends. This is all about the application deployment in the SCCM configuration manager. So I hope you understand these concepts. So we'll see you again in the next video. So until then, have a great day. Bye.